All right. Hold on a second. There we go. Hello. How are people doing? Let me see if I can see chat here. Hi, Aaron. Hi, Tinglish. How are you doing? I'm trying out a new system right now, and we're gonna see how well that works. You woke up too early, Logan. No, you did not wake up too early. You woke up exactly on time. Anyway, I've found you'll see a little watermark in the corner. That's just because I'm testing out this other way that I could do multi-streaming. That would be easier for me, and you know, because I did not have the connection to push streams to YouTube and Twitch from my own computer. So this is like a service that goes through it. Um, yeah, so I am able to access chats in two different places. We'll see how that works out. Anyway, good morning. And let's see, where were we? I'm going to need to wire was interesting. I think I will have to fix something with my notifications because somehow you all got a duplicate announcement with Twitch. Okay, that's 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 not something I need to worry about. So restream chat. So I need to like figure out how to. Okay. Okay. There we go. I've got chat here. Redoing Val hiatus resolution. That's interesting. Let me. I want to use Firefox over here, so I will get Firefox over here. Let's put something like that on, and then I will be able to use that, and I need to go to straw poll. So I did one final poll on prepositions. I had left it open for a whole week. And let's see. Overall, people did two, do, do. Okay, as our final thing, huh? So let's go ahead and grab that, and we're going to go into our prepositions. We'll copy our table one more time. And we also need to get Inkscape up and get... I have been working on too many things. Ah. Tinguish, you are braver than me, including all three of those. Because, like, I am not confident in my ability to distinguish between all of them. It all sounds like I, right? I guess I, 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 I. I don't know. Because, like, so the English one is usually transcribed with this I, right? With that. So I don't know. I it can. It's not always clear to me, but it sounds like it could be I. Some people do transcribe it as with the yeah. So I don't know. Oh, you're turning lines into fricatives. Okay, that's interesting. But anyway, let's grab the results of our poll. So this is for away from. Does anyone know how I can increase the UI scale on Inkscape? Because it's very annoying that I have a giant screen and I have tiny, tiny little icons over here. See, Aaron, the upside down A, I don't even know how to distinguish that either. I am very weak on the low vowel distinctions. Obviously, ah versus ah, I can get. Ash is very easy. But like, what's the upside down one is supposed to be tense, and I'm not sure how that works. Ah, 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 and then ah, 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 kind of works. When the back rounded one is distinct enough to be all, right? But also is not in my dialect. It's very British to me. Yes, IPA keyboard on your phone is great. Okay, so we have T, and that means away from. That might end up with some secondary uses. Kind of depends on how things go, but we need to figure out. This was probably going to be pretty straightforward. So we have to chief, to guy. Now, I guess we'll go with, what did we do when vowel final ones before? We just did like I think that works for us. So we had puya. Do we have one? Oh yeah. Yeah. So we can model it after this one, since it's the same, this y. So we'll have the y. is it? Iya, iya, tia, dia. And of course, with anything time with the consonants, it's just the same. And then this, so this had these merge. We can have that happen again. So and so we don't need sound changes to get a pattern. We can just like do things, and then for this one, so for these ones, it merged for the vowel. So, id, tid, dik, tike, tipig, tipal, and tib. Oh, okay. Okay. And that is all of our preposition inflections done. We've accomplished something right off the bat. Now, we're going to pop up, we may be bouncing between verbs and constructions here. Because we are going to figure out valency operations. And I'm going to take a quick look at my dice tables to do that. Because, so, okay. We skipped over this. We just decided that only subject is indexed, and it's by a suffix. And so we have this. So we're going to work on now, we're going to ask about voice marking and I don't think I can do a poll through here. So we're going to ask the question about voice marking and what do you mean in English? What do you see in English? We're going to ask about voice marking and valency changing operations. And reciprocals. And what we're going to do here, I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to say that there is a passive, but I'm not 100% sure. I'm not going to necessarily follow exactly this. What I'm going to go ahead and roll, but I'm going to cheat a little bit. I'm going to say if we get no voice marking, then we get nothing. And then if we get one of these, I may modify it slightly depending on how oh, okay. The a and ah being similar to English. Yes, English having those two vowels. But anyway, let me start up my phone camera and Video Ninja. And get here, and we start the back camera. So, hopefully the dice cam is going to work today. Okay. So, let me find two suitable D10s. Find a suitable D100 here, there. Different colors. That's fine. And so what we're going to do, if I get between 1 and 43, I'm going to re-roll it. And then whatever I roll, I reserve the right to say morphologically on the verb could be morphologically on the auxiliary instead. And we will see what happens exactly. Okay, what did we get? Oh, can you guys... It's not focusing properly. Oh, goodness. Why is it not focusing? Well, that's annoying. I should have set this up beforehand. Well, okay, that was a 35, and I'm gonna restart the Video Ninja and see if I can get something, get a better view for you guys. So hold on for a second here. Let's see. If I go into my camera and set the video to 4K, will Video Ninja respect those settings? That looks clearer. Is it clear on stream? Oh, okay. Okay, let's go ahead and re-roll, because that's what I said I would do. You don't have to use the dice table straight. Eventually, these are going to be published somewhere. Okay, I've got 1. Okay, that's a 1. Let me give Get that. 91. Okay, there we go. Now we have actually something we can use. Anti-passive is marked. Okay, so I'm going to actually say we're going to have a passive and an anti-passive. It's so very weird to have an anti-passive in this situation. Yeah. So, but we can work with that. Let's just jump and make a note of that. Okay. There is passive marking. There's passive and anti-passive marking on the verb. There we go. Oh, I didn't switch to my monitor. So you can see I'm typing this. I'm just going to type this up. We're going to do several roles here and then like figure out how it all fits together. So that's not what I want. Let's go switch back to so dice tables. The next one, here we go. We have valency changing and oblique marking. I'm not necessarily, I'm going to say maybe not mark obliques because we don't mark objects. So this might be another one where I modify the result of the roll. We'll see. You could, I can double check on, can you get an applicative happen when you don't have object marking in the first place? Probably. But again, but also I'm not sure if I want to do applicatives in this language. So let's go to the dice cam. Everybody's having their own conversations. Oh, it's happening again. It's all pixelated. So I think I really do need to eventually, let's try restarting this again. Hi, what are you doing? Okay. Okay, so let's roll it. And we got 01, no valency changing or oblique marking. Now that's on the verb. So, and then that's for, we're talking about causatives, basically. If we go switch back, technically we do have valency changing because we have a passive. And I may want to rework the way those charts are worded. But so we'll go back. Then we're going to go positive marking on the verb. Also, no oblique marking applicatives. Yeah. That could evolve. I have done that in a language before, Tinglish. I've done applicatives that are okay, the chat should not be that big. I can make it longer. Or can I make it longer? Oh, okay. It's just like a fixed window, but I think it's taking up too much of the screen. Yeah. So it's not, so the thing is, this is not marked on the verb. However, there's still going to be a causative construction of some type. It may just end up being that it's like make do something, make somebody do something, right? We already have auxiliary verbs, so we can have a similar structure to how auxiliaries currently work. We could have like an auxiliary causative or just like a nested clause thing. Let me see. Let's go to the next thing. We've got how are retroflexes and reciprocals marked? Reflexives and reciprocals. So this is a very much like, I have this under verbs, but it's also very much a construction thing, because it could be marked on the verb, it could be marked on the pronoun. And this one, I definitely don't have a big preconception of how I would want it done. So I'm going to just roll straight on this table. And we're going to see. Okay, I see. So, hello, Tuna. Tuna. I have not seen your name before, I don't think. Okay, so we've got 88. 88. Yeah, I was going to make, there are reflexive and reciprocal pronouns, as well as verb marking for reflexive and reciprocal. Active stative alignment. Does active statement alignment make sense for communication of valency? I'm not sure how active statement alignment is going to work because I only mark the subject on the verb. I don't know if that's necessarily it. I think I'm just going to use a cause to do construction. You make somebody do something, force somebody to do something. And we can have several different verbs, just like, many languages do, that mean to cause or to make somebody do something, those kind of things. Let's see. I have not, and I don't have a table for it either. I've not decided if there's like an infinitive or participles or anything like that. The fact that we have auxiliaries working the way that they do, where like the lexical verb is slightly defective, but it still marks for person, makes me think I'm not necessarily going to do that. So let's write it down. So again, we got here there are reflexive and reciprocal pronouns, as well as verb marking for reflexive and reciprocal, and it's worth understanding. So reflexive Oh, okay. Yeah. There are ways that could. There's possibilities. Um, so and it's worth, like, I think it's worth actually going to the source and seeing what these mean. So I got all of this from GramBank data. And one thing when you're working with GramBank data, it is useful to know. So it would be, we have a phonologically bound reflexive marker on the verb, a phonologically independent reflexive pronoun. Okay? And the reciprocals are going to be the same. So they have, so if there's a, that's phonologically bound to the verb, middle voice markers that are obligatory in reflexive constructions also count as reflexive markers. That's an interesting thing. So we could do like Spanish style middle voice stuff or something like that. If the grammar discusses a marker that is phonologically bound to the verb and it encodes both reflexive and reciprocal functions. But in our case, we're going to have separate because we have a separate. Now, code 1, if so, for this is for, is there a phonologically independent reflexive pronoun? It says code 1 if the grammar discusses an independent reflexive marker in the language, or if you find clear examples of independent reflexive markers. Morphology does not mention an independent reflexive marker. Yeah. Now, what exactly fits? So this is related to body. So, and then this one has one reflexive pronoun for all. So you could have just one, or you could have like the English thing where you have myself, myself, yourself, their self, all of those things, right? Rapa Nui does not have a specialized reflexive form. So a regular independent pronoun. So this has to be a separate pronoun. So the choices, let's actually start with this because the choices are pretty straightforward. So we have choices. So we have to have a phonologically independent reflexive pronoun and a phonologically independent reciprocal pronoun. Now the reciprocal, let's jump in here. Let's jump in here. Okay. Now the reciprocal cannot consist of two quantifiers. So the English each other is not present in this language. There is a completely different reciprocal marker. It can't be. So for this one has a compound one that's one of one. That doesn't count. That's not what we're doing. You could have both. Now, it seems like for a reciprocal marker, you're generally just going to have one. And we'll have to figure out where that comes from and how that evolved. So many languages make reciprocal from reduplicating the reflexive marker. That's an idea. Reflexive has two choices. We can have one, separate reflexives by person/number, right? Okay. Or the other option would be just one reflexive pronoun. And then for the same thing, and for verbs, we have reciprocal will be one marker. Flexive could be modification of the person marking. It could be a separate affix. In addition to person marking. Oh, so you have so fourth person, is that an what is the approximate? Is your tuna, is your fourth person an obviative? Is that what you're talking about there? That seems to. Oh, it's an indefinite. So you have like an indefinite. You're at so with an ergative with the verb, and then the third person. Okay. I mean, Sutton, I do have weighted stress. If we jump to phonology, stress is penultimate, but final heavy syllables attract stress. So that Possibly. The thing is, like, I'm not sure where reflexive marking will occur on the verb. No, obviative is something from Algonquian. An obviative is so with the Algonquian direct inverse system, you have to have a hierarchy of persons that will that and when you have two third person arguments, one will be the proximate and one will be the obviate. It has to do with the structure of the verb. I don't know why this effect on my. Anyway, it has to do with the structure of the verb. With what whether it will take the direct or inverse. Basically, the proximate is higher than the obviate. The proximate is narratively like your main character you're talking about, generally. And then the obviate is like something that's more peripheral to the discourse. It's a way to have a hierarchy between two third-person arguments. And then inanimates are even lower than that. So, and heavy syllables are defined as having long vowels or a short vowel with a coda. So that's why if we go, when I'm talking about the prepositions, so I guess this would be D2, but this is dice, and this is dice, and this is dichu. Yes. Yeah, so your fourth person you said is like an indefinite. Yeah. That's just the thing. Like, fourth person is kind of a vague term because linguists have used it in different ways. So I just wanted to clarify like what that actually was. But in this language is not going to have a fourth person thing. Probably. Okay, where was I making notes on? I need to have that here. So, let's actually do the pronouns first, and then we can decide whether. So, I will put this up to a vote. I'm streaming. Is anyone actually watching on Twitch? Is what I want to know. I need to close some tabs here. no. Let me say if I can get into. Am I still live? Where did my chat go? Okay, nobody's actually watching on Twitch right now, so I can probably, if it allows me to make a poll from here. I don't think it will. So that's fine. I will just go ahead and do. I'm gonna do a straw poll anyway, and we're gonna do this. Since I need to have this answered now, we'll say, are there separate reflexive pronouns by person? I think just by person is all that we want to do. And it's a simple yes or no. There's no reason to do, and schedule this. Just give you till 55, okay? This is just easier for me to do with the interface I have. Okay, that should be been sent to y'all. And then I will be watching the results. Okay. And in the meantime, we can be preparing to figure out what our... We definitely know we're going to have just one reciprocal. And let me do a little bit of research on that. So, reciprocal... here, I can bring up World Lexicon of Grammaticalization. It's already there. And we can search for reciprocal. Okay, target source list. Reciprocal. So body, comrade, reflexive. That's interesting. So let's look at all of those. Body. And the reflexive can come from, again, alone, body, head, an intensifier. I should have went down, huh? Okay. So that's interesting. It can be like a middle voice marker. Okay, so here we have body becomes a reflexive and reciprocal. It's interesting. Shin. Okay, this is across a lot of different languages that we have body becoming a reflexive. Oh, you could have. I don't do a lot with animacy in this language, Soten, but that is a thought. Um, middle and medio passive. Well, I mean, the definition of a middle voice is kind of language specific. If you go to conlangery.com and go back into our audio archives, you can search for middle voice. We did a whole episode on the middle voice. And it's kind of because it's like, okay, this is in between active and passive voice. It's very like language specific sometimes exactly what it means. So I think I may go with body, but we need a root for body. And we probably let's see. Let's let's check our poll. Let's check the poll and let's see. Okay, there are not separate reflexive pronouns. So I think in that case, we're we're going to be going with the. I think we'll go with body. I like the idea of body. It's less abstract than self, and I think it kind of fits with the nature theme in a weird way. So let's go and do our thing. Let's generate a bunch of roots. And let me make sure. Okay, I need to. Oh no. Did I never revert this? Okay, I need to make sure. Okay. Let me see if I can find in my files a backup of the Sylvan, because I was generating prepositions and I wanted just single syllable prepositions, and I have messed things up doing that. Oh, really? Friend of a friend? I think we're gonna start with the reflexive, and then we may or may not derive the reciprocal from that. So let's go Sylvan. Sylvan Lexford. There we go. Just open it with Notepad just so I can get the... No! I don't have any definitions for words. Why do I not have any definitions for words in here? You see, the words thing is blank. I don't even have all my macros in there. Okay, so I'm just going to have to redo my macros. So we redo my root shapes. We'll go with V and L. S and L. No. Just have just L. Why do I have that? Let's heavy, V, heavy, and then S and heavy, and the same with coda. Maybe make those more likely. Maybe make the codas more likely. These... Okay, we have just heavy. Make this... Make just the plain light syllable kind of rare. Make the... Yeah. Make the ones with just light syllables kind of rarer. No, let's actually put these in between here. And then we go. Yeah. Yeah, now I want these sesquisyllables to be a little bit more common. So let's go... Let's go... Take this and put it at the end. Let's, Okay, I think that's good. And then I'm going to save that. No worry. So that I don't lose that definition. Okay, so pista kukla. Ooh, okay. I have a thought. And I need to load my stuff here. Oh, why is there an error there? Okay, import. I need to get the one from the downloads. There we go. Huklua pitai wapug. So let me think about that. So pug. So let's go into we need to go to nouns. And go to our noun classes. Pug is the plural for herbivores. So if we had a wapug, yes. Okay, I have gotten an idea. So instead of we're not going to do a poll here. We're going to do something special here. So right. Let's see if this works for us. So here's what I'm thinking. We'll have... Why is this here? Okay. Flexive. So, we have a wapug. However, okay. So you guys have decided word for teeth? So what I'm getting at here, okay, so we've decided that we only have one. Yes. Okay. Okay, I've settled this down. Okay. So, what happens is this is the old word for body. However, this got reinterpreted. So let's. This is going to. I'm going to take you guys on a journey. So let's switch to Sylvan. We're actually going to start with Elder Sylvan here. New note. Wepug. Wepug means body. Now, when we get to Middle Sylvan, we have a different one. Let me check on my noun classes. Yeah. We have, if we, so, we-ud. We'd, and let's say if we do some sound changes there, so that's we'd. Would, 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 would. Etymology. This will make sense in a minute. And we'll get... So the original word was wepuk. Why is this making an one? Why did it... Oh, no. Let me... Okay, this is... Okay, I need to... Okay, I guess we just need to... If I do it... Okay, I guess I just have to do it this way. Wepug. So, body is class 3. Now, what does that mean for our what does that mean for us when we use it as a reflexive? Well, well, so we have an option here. We could have that reinterpreted so that the root is just w. Let's see. If we have noun classes here, now we don't want it to inflect for class, right? We want it to just stay the way it is. Let me think about this. Let me consider this. Yeah, I'm thinking. Yeah. Yes. So I've got a brainwave. Let me send you guys another quick thing. We said that it wouldn't inflect for person. But can we... Let's create a poll here. The reflexive pronoun inflect for class. Yes or no? And that ends today at 9:25. Because I have two different ideas. It depends on the answer to this question. To drink soup. Oh, that's the one that my wife did with me, huh? That that is drink soup does make a whole lot of sense. What is this Cloncraft? That's not important. Let's see what this points to. And then that's going to actually reflect how the reciprocal works, okay? So I'll let you guys decide on that. And in the meantime, we'll be thinking about other issues here. So we did our possessive classifiers. Huh? Okay, so let's give that a minute. And then I don't want to have it. And meanwhile, slurp. Oh. People in the chat talking about the viscosity. So we actually have different choices here. Two minutes to register your answer here. And then we're going to get this all sorted out all at once. Oh my. Mugs. Oh my. We got a little bit of time for one more person to break the tie. See how this goes. Okay, it's closed and it's a tie. Okay. I did not expect that to happen. Uh, let's have a dice roll. Let's go have a dice roll. Hello? Are you sending? Okay, so 1 to 3 is yes, 3 to 6 is no. Okay. Oh, gosh. Okay, so that's how we're going to do it. Okay, so that means that we have adjusted things. So actually, there is going to be a number thing. It's going to be... Okay, so when we do verb marking, we'll adjust things. Get the Video Ninja off of here. Turn it off. So for class and number, but not person. So I'm adjusting things. So what we're going to have here is we're going to take our noun classes here. What happened here? We have our reflexive pronouns. And then let's delete the columns we don't need here. And what we had, wait for it. We're going to jump into Lexergy, and we have so okay, just this is preliminary because I need to figure out. Let's Wapug. I think no. I think so. Actually, let's take a look at our features as we have constructed them, because I don't think by this time this has been reduced to a schwa, and it's not actually going to. People are not actually going to remember that it was a way in Elder Sylvan. So I need to take a quick look here and see, like, how do I define my vowels? What is the the schwa is the least this is pretty defined. The schwa is the least defined, obviously. But what is my default vowel? I don't think this is going to be a default vowel. I think actually what happens is we've got wathi, and wai, wapug, wode, wode is fine. Waik, wapau, yeah, wai, and this is actually wab. So, and then this is actually wa. So, no, this is why I've reinterpret this with what with the ah is because I don't think I have any situation where a schwa occurs in a stressed syllable. Unlike ndakaga, where you can have a schwa anywhere, because it's just like a regular vowel. This one, schwa, appears due to reduction. So it's not going to appear in unstressed syllables. In fact, I think, yeah, I have right here. I like the original got interpreted. It did actually get a schwa, but this was only after a stress shift caused by the addition of uh, of the why would it be it would just be dapagak or dafagaik. I'd have to see. Wake, or is it going to be? Let me just double check here. Normally, what would what would this become? Weak, yeah. So that's fine. So what happens? And here I will put this in the dictionary. So it's wa. And we're going to have it. It comes from word reinterpretation. Changing the presumed class suffix for agreement purposes. The initial, the Elder Sylvan Wepug I'll just make it a link. Wepug had lost the I to schwa reduction, and this was reinterpreted as an underlying ah. So this is this is something that I am starting to do more, actually, is throw in some like irregular stuff and like think about the story of the word beyond just following your sound changes. And so this is a pronoun, and this means oneself, and inflected for class and number. And I just made the forms, so I will put that table in there. I need to make sure I go back through uh, and get all of those together. So wathi wai a word. I need to remember the reflex. Word, wapug, week, wapau, woe, woe, wob, wa. Actually, it should be wob. I think it should be wob. Which means we might need to... No. Wait. Hold on. We can run that through the sound changes. We can check what the sound changes would have applied as. Wob. So it actually should be wob. We might need to change our forms for our prepositions then. What? Wob. And then let's take a look at our prepositions. So this, I think this is fine. Yab. Probably. I think anytime we have a long vowel. No, these should actually Yab. Right. Fayab. We can do a fayab. This is fine. Biab. Puab, that's already done. Tiyab. I'm changing some things to make this chab. That's fine. Chab. Chab. Tiyab. Tiyab. Okay. We have some hiatuses that we may want to resolve in different ways in the dialects. So we'll see how that sorts out. But so this is our reflexive. The reciprocal I think we will stick with just one. And because I mean you'd have to resolve gender conflicts all the time anyway. So right. So and keep in mind these mean body, and body is going to be an herbivore, a class 2 noun. So this is the first case where we have an arbitrary class assignment. Maybe some dialects will reinterpret this and actually bring some of these forms in as lexical forms for bodies of predators versus bodies of herbivores. Maybe they'll just keep it as herbivore. Or maybe they will decide that it has to be something else. I think herbivore will also semantically make sense for body because this will be the word for the bodies of animals, and so that would have to default to like at least herbivore class, right? Yeah. Oh, sit down coffee houses in the U.S. Depends on where you are, Aaron. Um, Starbucks is all kinds of places, right? Um, but we can have different things. Yeah, Starbucks is all over the place. However, in a lot of bigger cities, there are also small coffee shops that you can go to. So it's, relative. Now, the reciprocal. So what do I think about vowels in hiatus in a conlang? Um I will for the purpose sometimes I will adjust sounds, but um like for these languages that I'm doing here, I do have some rules about what kinds of contrasts I will do, right? However, broadly, I am not going to rule anything out, and uh, anything like that real languages do. It's just consider your audience and consider what they're capable of. And I think that most speakers of most languages are capable of understanding leaving vowels in hiatus. The general term you would use is you say each vowel is its own syllable, something like that, right? So I'm fine with leaving some vowels in hiatus and not resolving every hiatus with some kind of a a trick. And in fact, you if you have if you go back to Ndakaga, yeah, um, if you go back to Ndakaga, Ndakaga does not have diphthongs uh, at all, sort of like Japanese. So the vowels are always in hiatus if you get two vowels together. Now it doesn't happen very often because the syllable structure really likes to have um, a, CV structure all the time. But you have a few words like boo, boo, it has a vowel in hiatus, and I just leave that alone. Um, there's the only thing that happens is if there's an affix, the hiatus gets resolved by the second vowel always winning. So with prefixes, the root vowel overrides the prefix vowel. If it's a suffix that starts with a vowel, then the suffix vowel overrides the root vowel. However, there are still a handful of roots that maintain vowels that are in hiatus in Ndakaga. So I've used it before, and I think I've had it in other languages, and I'm not opposed to keeping vowels in hiatus. In this case, like this is a hiatus week, and this actually communicates the fact that this suffix was added after a bunch of other sound changes, uh, which would have resolved that hiatus differently. But since it happened later, um, and of course in this case it's actually like a reinterpretation. But in other nouns, it will convey the fact that the hiatus resolution that occurred early on in Elder Sylvan does not apply to these suffixes because they occurred late. You know, so anything like that can actually help you tell the story of the language. Now, to the reciprocal. I'm thinking I really liked also this huklua, which, yeah, huklua. And I think what I can do is have another word for body. Yeah. Yeah, Tinglish. It's all about what your artistic choices are here. So I'm going to the story of this one is going to be different. Why do I it just opens the other thing in a new window. Okay. This is in Middle Sylvan. And this is going to change when we do dialects. Don't worry about that. So this is Elder Sylvan Kuklua. I'm going to go ahead and add it in Elder Sylvan and then go to Middle Sylvan and add new note. Etymology. Elder Sylvan. No. Kuklua. And okay. I have an idea. I have a cool idea to do this. Okay, so and Hukla. So this is a noun. I need to figure out the class. This also means body. Okay, and I need to. This is a noun class 2. And this would be a noun. Let's see. This also means body, but it also means self. And let's say this is a class 3, and this is the one that is typically used if you know that it is the body of a predator. Right? Okay. And self, because and so huklua, and so what we need to do is we need to know huklua ik. Need to know how that resolves itself. Hukloik. 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 However, put this into Middle Sylvan. Klua.
So this is a reduced form. And I'm thinking, let me just quickly do some generation here. Oh, we have uvulars in this language. I haven't done anything with them. Ah, yes. Okay. Kluak. What would if we had this and we stuck this with kuklua apply. Hukluaki. 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 Kluak. Kluak. Oh, there we go. Okay. There we go. Kluak. The dead plural suffix so this is the only and so this is going to be in Elder Sylvan there was a plural suffix and this is the only trace of it by the time we get to Middle Sylvan. So this is a pronoun. This is each other, reciprocal. So if we find wa again, so myself, yourself, himself, herself, their self, themselves, selves, oneself. This is reflexive pronoun. So we have kluak. Kluak. It's kluak. Klu. 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 Ah. And that's just, that is the reciprocal pronoun. Yeah. And this is going to be, it's just going to be a mystery where that came from. That is the only place that that plural suffix survives. So if I have the note there, so if at some point I want to construct Elder Sylvan as its own language, I can go back and say, oh, there is a plural suffix, t, and I can mess around with that, possibly apply a little bit of a change to it to make it work. But Kluak is the only Kluak is the only place where it survives in the modern time, and it's just fossilized in the reciprocal pronoun. All right. But that is all the time we have today. And we accomplished something cool. We've got our reflexive pronouns and our reciprocal pronouns. Next time, I need to go back to verbs and I need to work out the marking for passive and antipassive, as well as the reflexive and reciprocal marking on the verbs. So, and I will think about whether I can do a patron poll. I missed doing the patron poll this time because I couldn't think of a nice idea to give people options on. But now that I have an idea that there's a passive and an antipassive, then I can look at that. And I need to see how does it make sense that there's an antipassive in this language that only marks the subject of a verb and is like broadly like well, there's no alignment, but it's like it's gonna be default sort of nominative accusative, right? But we'll see. Anyway, everyone have a great day and